right, so we put this tile in a couple years ago, and now we noticed we had a couple cracks in a number of tiles. We've got to get them out of there and replace them, and we're using this tool. It's really supposed to be for cutting wood, but we're cutting through the grout. That's the first step, and once you get the grout all cut, then you can pop the tiles up like we did right here. And then if you got one in the center, you got to get your hammer on it and kind of crack it up a little bit. And try not to damage the tiles that are adjacent or next to it. So he's trying to use that claw hammer. That was not a good idea. He made a little scratch on that one tile. So you don't want to do that. You want to try to break it up and then get it from the inside and then pop it up like he's trying to do here. But you'll see it in the next video. We actually had probably, I think, 6 or 7 of these we had to take up that had cracked, and this is basically the method that we used to get these things out of there. And as you can see, it is a little bit of an arduous process, but you just got to be patient, take your time, and don't hurry because you don't want to damage those tiles next to it. If you notice, there's a lot of thin set there, and we got to get that thin set out too. Here you can see the hammer working under it, and we can just get those little pieces out of there. But then what you've got to do is sweep up all of the big chunks like we're doing here, and then you may need to get a power tool or a little chisel to get the last remaining pieces of that thin set, because you got to get it all out of there. Otherwise you will not be able to get the new tile in and get the new tile in there to fit properly. And once we pulled it all out and pulled all of the thin set out, this is what it looks like. So it looks pretty good. I think now we're ready to see if we can get a couple pieces to fit back in there. All right, so before we try to put the tiles in, we've got to make sure that they set in the spaces. So we went through a number of boxes of extra tiles that we had, and we found the ones that matched and would fit, because they're all different sizes. I've got to warn you right now. You may think the tiles are the same. They're not. They're different sizes, because you got to remember you got a grout line. So they leave a little leeway there for placement. So you've got to make sure you've got all the ones that you need in the right spot before you go ahead and thin set them. So we're going to mix some mortar. This is a large format floor and wall tile mortar. So we're going to mix this up. This is the machine. It's a Black & Decker. We got the hook up. That's like just like when you're making a cake. We got a big one. On the back here, kind of gives you the directions. Right here, check it out. Put it in there. Stick the thing in. Smush it around. Get it ready to go. Slap it on the floor. Put the tiles on. Very simple. Very easy to do. I think we can do it. All right, so we went ahead and we poured the mixture for the thin set inside of the bucket, and then we have a Black & Decker drill, which we have the mixer tool plugged into, and you can go forward and backwards with it. And then we're just going to go ahead and mix it up. And as we're going, we're going to add a little more water each time to try to get it to the right consistency. All right, once you got it mixed and you bring it into your bucket, you're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes to set up just a bit. So this is the system we're going to have to use. All right, so you want to make sure that you get the thin set on every part of the piece of tile. And then we're just going to go ahead and just layer right in there and smush it down, and bam, Bob's your uncle. There's your first one. And then you want to check and make sure there's no thin set inside the grout lines, and you may need a tool just to kind of pull the thin set out of there. All right, so once we put the tiles in, what we're doing is putting some weight on them, and then we're using that painter's tape to make sure that nobody walks over and steps on them afterwards, because they're just sitting there and you could stub your toe. And then we just got to get the last couple tiles in, and then after that we're going to go ahead and grout everything, and it should be ready to go. Just have to wait for it to solidify over 24 hours, and then we can come back and we can grout everything. All right, so this is that area that we just retiled, and as you can see, looks pretty good. We still have to grout it, and we're going to make a video on how to do that too. All right, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other awesome videos. Peace out. All right, so we've got our tile in. It's been a day, and we still got to grout it. here you can see, here's the difference. Here's grout, there's no grout because that was a new tile and that's a new tile. So we've got to get that done. And so we're cleaning out the area here and just got a little blade kind of digging through there. So we're going to mix up the grout. This is Poly Blend, America's #1 grout. It's non-sanded grout.
Give me a plastic.
We're going to need a plastic
measuring
thing.
cup.
A measuring. Oh, who put that there? All right, let's get this thing here. I'm going to give her this one here. I think that's going to work.
Too big, but whatever.
She says it's too big. I can't do anything right, so I'll just find one that's smaller. Is that going to work?
I need a bigger one.
You need. So I took 3 tries, like in baseball. There you go. All right, here we go. Dig in. Get that good stuff out of there. That is not cocaine. All right, here we go. We're gonna do 1. How many are you gonna put in there? 2. This is not the way I did grout.
How did you do it?
I had a bucket and I mixed it with a big giant mixer, just like we did the fence set.
I don't need a big giant mixer.
Are you? Oh, you're just gonna. I know what you're gonna do. You're not gonna smush it all over the place. You're just gonna push it into the
I was
place.
going to push it in as much as I could, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get a little water.
Do I need to... Did I have to match up the rocks? I didn't think so.
You might have to mash those rocks up. Folks, don't try this at home. It's for scraping your thing. What? What do you do? It's gonna ruin that thing. It's gonna have concrete in it.
Can't put it in there.
Don't rinse that down the drain.
Honey, it'll be all over.
It's concrete. Oh my God.
Water. It stays wet.
No, it's concrete and it'll get hard inside the pipes and the next thing you know, Bob's a millionaire. Or Jeb. Or Jed. Beverly Hillbillies. And we're not gonna, we'll rinse this outside and not down the drain, please. I think you're almost ready. Just need to do about 17 more things of it. While she's doing that, I'm going to show you the name of this stuff. That's it right there. For grout joints up to 1/8 of an inch, which is what we have. Maybe 1/8 of an inch. I don't think we have that much. If you want more information on how to do it, you guys can screenshot this. Do you have a little sponge to sponge it in?
Shove it in with this.
What you do is then you want to roll over it with a sponge to make it nice and smooth. Now I think we could even use one of those sponges that you have for like down here, like this.
Yeah, that's a...
You know?
I mean, I have the other ones over there.
Let me see how you got it. It looks pretty good.
I don't... It's too,
Oh, it's still. Maybe you need a little more water in there.
No, you want it thicker than icing. I just didn't know if I had to mash all this.
The only trouble is it's going to start to set up. So you've got a timeline here.
Yeah, but
I think that's
really
looking good.
grainy.
Still too grainy?
I think it's too grainy.
That's why we need
Did
to
it say anything about...
mix it with a mixer. We got a couple sponges. And let's start right here.
Watch out. Oh.
Okay, so this is a different method that we usually use. Seeing that we're not really professionals. We're just going to smush it right in. Just like that. And then we need a little bucket of water.
Huh?
We need a bucket of water with our sponges. It takes forever at this rate.
Well, I have these to do, and I don't want
So to get the excess off, you just use that sponge.
Yeah, I know. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any holes.
You're looking good. You just got to keep rolling. You're about halfway through on this one. That's it. That's it. Look how nice that looks. You did a better grout job than the other grout job.
I don't know if I should have stuck it in there, you know? Although that doesn't really get in there.
No, no, you can't. You're doing, what you're doing is perfect. Just smush it in. Just like that. It's gonna work great. Looking good. I wonder if we should have done that one over there first so we wouldn't have to nail it.
I forgot. I was coming this way, but I forgot that I need to do this one, so I'll do that one.
You can still reach it. In the sponges, getting them ready for the next groutage. Smush it right in
I
there.
actually kind of had to go the other direction, but
This is the hard part, getting underneath there.
you know what? I can take this out.
And so we pulled this little piece out so we could get in there and really grout it up. It's only 1 in the morning, but she's very industrious. My honey at 1 o'clock in the morning, just grouting some tile.
No, it's not. Huh?
11:30.
Oh, shit. It ain't nothing.
We may be able to get one episode of Motherland in.
Yeah.
So let's take a look and see how we did. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty grouty. Let's get a close look at her. Yep, grouted all the way up. Looking sweet. Takes 16 hours for this stuff to cure, so don't walk on it. All right, if you like this video, subscribe to our channel. Check out our other awesome videos on how to do stuff at home. Okay, we're looking good. Got it all grouted. Wiped it down with a sponge and ready to go. Now I just gotta put those doors back on.